In my previous video, we talked about why you should not apply for credit cards frequently, especially when banks are always declining your credit card applications. Now, in today's video, pag-uusapan naman natin kung bakit ayaw kang bigyan ng banks ng credit card. While banks are not actually required to disclose the reasons as to why they wouldn't approve you of your credit card applications, here are some logical and sensible reasons as to why. Hey everyone, how's it going? The name's Oshin, and in this channel, I talk about personal finance, some tech that can help you, lifestyle hacks, and whatnots. And this is still not yet a credit card channel, so let's get into it. And so the first reason is that your income might be too low. And this might sound a bit obvious, but actually banks are heavily considering this at ito yung unang-una nilang tinitignan because they want to know you, if you can, pay your debt on time and in full, and meron kang capacity to do it. And most of them would have a minimum requirement of 15,000 pesos. And if you think your income is too low, you can either have a side hustle or even a small business on the side that can augment your current paycheck or simply just change jobs. If you need tips before accepting a job offer, I made a video about it, which you can find it here. So the second reason is that you might have a charge-off on your credit report. So first, let's define muna what a charge-off is. So a charge-off is basically, ito yung mga unpaid balances mo for more than 6 months or more, and then naka-reflect siya sa credit report mo. It's also a statement that the likelihood of you paying that credit card debt is as good as gone. And kapag naka-reflect siya sa credit report mo, banks will surely not approve your credit card applications kasi may hit ka na eh. So para makita ninyo yung charge-offs ninyo sa credit reports ninyo, just look at your credit report and then under ng accounts for each credit card that you had, nakalagay doon kung aling month at kailan ka hindi nakapagbayad for more than 6 months. And if you're interested to get your credit report, I made videos about it here, which I will link it up. So the third reason is that you have a limited credit history. And you might ask,
how am I supposed to have a record on my credit history kung wala nga akong credit card? That's why I'm applying for credit cards kasi gusto ko magkaroon ako ng record on my credit history and my credit report.
Okay everyone, a credit card is not just your way to have your credit history filled up. Maraming ways para magkaroon ka ng record sa iyong credit history, and not just credit cards. It could be in the form of home loans, car loans, or even personal loans. Those loans would still be reflected on your credit history kasi utang pa rin yun. If you want me to talk more about personal loans and quick cash loans, leave a comment below and I might make a video of it one of these days. But if you're someone who's just starting out, I would recommend for you na lang to get a secured credit card or open a savings account or a time deposit account, then maghintay ka na lang for at least 6 months to 1 year before applying for an unsecured credit card. And so the fourth reason is that you might not have submitted the complete requirements. I know it might sound a bit basic, but you know, it really happens. Minsan nakakalimutan natin yung even the smallest details, especially when we're filling out our credit card applications. And kapag may na-miss lang tayo na isang blank na hindi natin na-fill upan or isang question, then your credit card application is as good as denied. Well, minsan kung maswerte tayo, banks would contact us and sasabihin sa atin na kulang yung requirements natin, which is good. Pero may times na hindi na rin at i-message ka na lang nila na decline ka talaga. And so just to be sure, prepare nyo na lang yung requirements nyo in advance and the basic ones. And also at the same time, mag-prepare na rin kayo ng mga requirements na hindi naman hinihingi, but it could boost up your chances of getting approved. So ano ba yung mga requirements na to? So it could be like a stock certificate or a SEC registration of your business and so on. And if you need the specific requirements of the banks, then just Google it. Everything's on Google.
Actually, libre ang Google.
And so the fifth reason why your credit card application is always declined is that you have an unstable job history. Guys, kung palipat-lipat kayo ng trabaho, especially that you do not have a regular job or wala kang record sa iyong credit report na nagkaroon ka ng regular employment, then chances are hindi talaga i-approve ng banks ang credit card applications ninyo. Because basically, banks favor applicants who have the ability to repay any debts. And so if you've been job hopping, banks get the impression that you would not have a stable source of income in the long run, regardless of the reasons why you are resigning. And at the same time, if you have a history of not having a source of income, meaning natenga ka ng matagal, kunwari 1 year or 2 years kang walang trabaho, red flag yon para sa banks. And most likely, hindi talaga nila i-approve yung credit card application mo. And so the next reason is that you have a public record or a recent collection record. In the case that your credit card was turned over to a collecting agency and hoping in God's grace na hindi naman, then chances are hindi rin talaga i-approve ng banks ang iyong credit card application kasi napaka-recent nun. For them, nagkaroon ka na ng record na hindi ka nga nagbabayad ng utang. And it also means that your credit records are already in a miserable state. And your name is already on the negative database. In relation to this, if you also have judicial records and if you're someone who recently filed for personal bankruptcy and most likely hindi talaga i-approve ng banks ang credit card applications mo. Also guys, I will be making a video about how to file for a credit card amnesty. So if you're interested to learn more about it, make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell button beside it so that once the video is up, you will be notified agad. Now, all of this said, what other steps can you take so that you could have your credit card application approved aside from the things that I've mentioned kanina? As I've mentioned on my previous video, patience is the key. Wait for at least 6 months to 1 year saka ka mag-apply ng credit card. And don't ever apply to any credit cards or loans during the 6 months to 1 year na period because this will be your waiting game time. Get your credit report first so that you can see which areas you are lacking, and if necessary, file for a dispute sa Credit Information Corporation if there are any records doon sa credit report mo na medyo mali at alam mong hindi talaga nangyari. And I've also made a video about it, a very simple demonstration which I will link it up here. And during this waiting game time, again, you have two options. So una, get a secured credit card if you want to, and then the second one is to open a savings account or a time deposit